Peace, peace, family. This your boy Young Pharaoh, and you are now watching Crumb TV.
Naomi from Chicago. You're watching Crumb TV. My name's Jake, and I'm watching Crumb TV.
You're watching Crumb TV.
This is Ashanti. I am watching Crumb TV. I'm a Crumb fan.
Hold on, family. Hold on. Surprise! This is Rami Tepqueb, global distributor of the Rosarian Solar Serial Calendar, and you are watching Crumb TV.
This is the real Remy Red, and I am watching Crumb TV.
Peace, Ashe, Islam, Namaste, Hotep, Grand Rising, Assalamu Alaikum, Walaikum Salam, Ni Hao, Konnichiwa, Rahubet, Hotep, Aloha, Ola, Que Pasa, Wagwan, Waza. I gotta make that voice. Anyway, without further ado, I am your humble brother Crumb, here again today for the third time for another installation of Crumb TV. You know how I like to get things started, family, so let me do it how I like to do it. I live in a virtual world, family. It's called YouTube. If you live in that world, smash that subscribe button and also ring that bell. Sound effects. Also, if you're on Instagram, family, give me a Grammy, Crumb TV _ hit the follow button. Last but not least, I am your favorite racist. So what better place for people like me but on Racebook? Absolutely. That's just what I call Facebook in case you don't understand my brand of humor. So without further ado, this is another installation of Lucifer Decoded Part 2 or Part 2. Before I go into this measure, family, you know I gotta recognize the family. I got, it ain't nothing without them. This is the official #1. They got in here at 0.20 seconds of me hitting the button. I was surprised. Isaiah Humphrey says peace. I'm saying peace back. I see you, brother. A powerful name too. The name Isaiah just really speaks volumes to me. King Baba, peace, Baba. I like to give titles. So I call my father Baba, just like I call my mother Mama. So with that said, #3 in the building is not ancestors. This is a play on words. Ancestor. Because anybody and everybody, certain people, their ancestors were knuckle draggers, Neanderthals. Certain peoples, they had ancestors. Our ancestors are divine, and I think keeping them out front is an honorable thing to do. So shout out to my brother Ancestors Gene. So let's get right into it, family, and do it how we do it. This is called Lucifer Decoded, and you know how I like to teach. I am not, I repeat, not a master teacher. I am a master student. I can learn from anyone. I can learn from anything. I can learn from a roach. I can learn from a rainy day. I can learn from the devil. I can learn from God. Somebody said, I can't believe you were yada, yada, yada. I said, family, I put no stipulations on where I learned from. You can only learn from a professor, but not me. So without further ado, I want to introduce the family to my brother, the master teacher, Taz. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Peace, brother. Thank you again for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. So we got some work to do from yesterday to pick up. But, brother, we got to do things the right way. Before we go into this, can you do me the honors and tell the people who you are and where they can find you at?
Peace and love to everybody out there and all the platforms that we're streaming in. My name is Tasmaniac. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram under the Taz Show. My Facebook profile name is Tasmaniac Wolf. Be sure to follow me or add me as a friend. Subscribe on YouTube, and you can find me on all the platforms. But out of all of them, you're always gonna find me on Crumb TV.
Well, there you have it. You can always, depending on where he's at. He might be here, he might be there, might be there, might be there, but he'll definitely be on Crumb TV. So I really appreciate that, brother Taz. With that said, if it's okay with you, can we pick up where we left off?
Let's do exactly that, brother. It was a heated subject yesterday. Just to go into some quick details about yesterday, we talked about, just to run through some things, we talked about Venus, the goddess Venus, the planet Venus. We talked about the etymology of angel, jinn, genie, daemon, demon, Lucifer, the word fur, and everything that has to do with bear children, carry. We talked about a couple of words that that have the fur in them, like chauffeur, and we're gonna pick up right there. Last thing we talked about was Venus, the goddess Venus. Now, what we've got to find out is that when we're speaking of this feminine astral Venus or celestial body named Venus, it has a curious trajectory. All right, now this trajectory has a name. It's called the transit of Venus. This trajectory or transit, when followed through 8 orbits around the sun, along with Earth, has 5 intersecting points in which both planets align themselves with the sun. All right, so it's a transit that as it's going around the sun, the Earth and and Venus and the sun align themselves in 5 different spots. All right, now just to read right here, it says, you want to read, brother? Your mic is muted. You're muted, brother.
Sorry about that. Absolutely, I will do exactly as you asked, just like the angel Gabriel told the prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Ekra, which in Arabic means read. So I'll do as you ask. A transit of Venus across the sun takes place when the planet Venus passes directly between the sun and the superior planet, becoming visible against the solar disk. During a transit, Venus can be seen from Earth as a small black dot moving across the face of the sun. Wow.
Facts. Now, this alignment might seem to some like a small nature, but with different orbit speeds and orbit trajectories around the sun, they're actually very rare and consider a special event. Now, if we draw a straight line through all 3 celestials chronologically as it happens, we can prove that a perfect pentagram is formed and a 5-pointed star around the sun. Now, Venus has a peculiar something very peculiar, all right, in comparison to the other planets. Its polar rotation is the complete opposite as the Earth. So if the Earth is rotating this way, Venus is rotating the opposite way. If the Earth is going clockwise, Venus is going counterclockwise. All right, and
oh wow.
And it is extremely slow as well. It takes 243 Earth days to complete 1 day in Venus. All right. So to get through 1 day in Venus, you need 243 Earth days, while their year is only 225 Earth days. Now, when we're speaking of this pentagram, which we're referring to at the bottom, which is the tetragrammaton or the tetragram, is the 4-letter word of the biblical God of Israel. If we could read that bottom one, brother.
Yeah. What about the top one at the right?
They both. I'm gonna go get to that one when I play the video.
No, sorry. Okay. Tetragrammaton. The tetragrammaton or tetragram is a 4-letter Hebrew word, the name of the biblical God of Israel. The 4 letters read from right to left, and are Yod, He, Wa, and He. While there is no consensus about the structure and etymology of the name, the form Yahweh is now accepted almost universally.
Correct. That's what when we're speaking of this pentagram, that's exactly what we're talking about. And I'm gonna play a quick video that I'm gonna run through just so we could get a grasp of what the transit look like. I'm gonna mute the sound on the video. It's not necessary, and we don't want to get banned for any stupid little thing. Well, mute it for any little thing, because any sound they always tripping on it. Let me advance it. So right here we have the sun in the middle, the planets rotating around, as we could see, Venus is moving a whole lot faster than the Earth is. But, there is 5 points in time when they do come together. All right. The bottom is in Spanish because I presented this presentation in Spanish, but there is 5 times during the process of 8 years that they actually do connect. This is one of them right there that just passed. Right there, that alignment where the sun, Venus, and the Earth are going to come together and they're going to form one line. Then there's going to be another intersection of all 3 planets right there, and that creates another line. All right, and it leaves the sun in the middle. All right, and as it goes through the process of 8 years, it literally makes a 5-pointed star. All right, which is actually pretty awesome. It explains a lot of the myths that they have behind the 5-point star and why, because it's very, very important star that creates this specific picture, or this specific star. How do I get out of here now? There we go. Now, right here on the top right hand corner, if we could read that one, brother, so it could explain a little bit about the pentagram and the transit that Venus has.
Today, many know it as pentagram of Venus. The word pentagram, or 5-sided figure, is used because over the 8 years, each phenomenon, each relative position of Earth, Venus, and the sun occurs 5 times. Then over the next 8 years, they repeat 5 times, almost identically.
Fact. So every 8 years it happens. It just happens just with a little bit of slight of movement of the thing. Now, when we're talking about Venus, this pentagram, and the tetragrammaton, or the pentagram, we're talking about the order of the Eastern Star. All right, the order of the, why isn't it? Hold on, one quick second. Percent. There it goes. It was not fully screened, and it irks me to see it that way. But we're talking about the order of the Eastern Star, which is the only female branch of Freemasonry. Now, the Star of the East also represents Venus and the 5 elements of Mother Earth, which is the Gnostic study of the divine feminine that tribes like the Essenians presented to us. Now, I've done a presentation with a panel about the Essenian gospel of peace. If you're interested in that, feel free to look at that as well. But if we could read the top right hand, brother.
Absolutely. The order of the Eastern Star is a Masonic appendant body open to both men and women. Should I keep reading? That's the only underlined red part.
Oh yeah. The rest of it is just talking about when it was established. But the whole point we want to make is that this is the only branch of the Masons where they actually take women. All right, and is represented by a 5-pointed star, an upside down 5-pointed star, to be completely exact. Now, that 5-pointed star is the representation of air, spirit, water, earth, and fire, which is like I mentioned earlier, is the 5 elements of Mother Earth. So it's the only place that actually allows femininity all the way in. All right. Now, if we look to the next slide. Now, since we're talking about women and we're talking about Lucifer, and we know that fur means to carry, and Lucifer means to bear children, so let's talk about the bearing children. Now, from the darkness of a womb, you come into the light of the living. All right, because we are created in the triple darkness of our mother's womb. Now, the darkest time presented, or the hardest or most painful experience, is birth, according to what women say. Not because I know for a fact or anything like that, but from what they've been, from studies that they've done, that is the hardest part. Now, the hardest part of pregnancy, like I said, is labor right before the child is born into the light, the same way that Mother Earth birth us every dawn from the darkness of night, just like Venus, the light bringer. All right. Now, if we could read on the top, brother, just the underline.
Yes. Now, this is from mayoclinic.org, titled Pregnancy Glow. Is it real? Yes. During pregnancy, a combination of factors create a pregnancy glow.
Now, the act of birthing, all right, the act of birthing is actually well, the act of pregnancy, the act of pregnant, when you actually get pregnant, women glow. There is a shine to our women that occurs when they are pregnant. All right. Now, at the bottom it says most moms will tell you that the first and last month of pregnancy are the hardest time. The reason why we're talking about it is because Venus, it is said that it appears right before dawn, and right before dawn is the darkest time. It's always the darkest before dawn. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of that saying, that is literally darkest before dawn. So right before the sunshine comes up, the only star you're gonna find in the sky is Venus. All right, and this light is gonna bring forth this shine of Venus is going to bring forth the sunshine, which is the dawn. All right. Now, right at the right hand side, I left it in Spanish. Significantly because Brother Crumb did a presentation specifically about the act of birthing and how we should not be expressing the saying good morning. All right, but we should instead be saying grand rising. All right, and he did a presentation in regards about that. If you guys want to go and check it out. Now let me see right here. It says it's asking, what does it mean, dar a luz? All right, dar a luz is what is said when a woman is giving birth. Now it says the enlightenment of a child in the moment of birth. It receives the name of dar a luz. All right, not like the act of actually giving birth, which is called parto. All right, in Spanish it's called parto, but dar a luz, which means to bring light, to bring into the light, is the aspect that is used in the Spanish community when you're giving birth. Is to bring light. All right, so the use of the idiomatic phrase dar a luz to mean not just to bring to light in general, but the extension more specifically, give birth to, has its origins in providing a softer euphemism for human birth than for animals. So this is mainly used for humans, not for any other. Exactly, Brother Kyler, grandiosa madrugada. Grandiosa is a compound word. All right, it comes from the word grand, from grandiose, and diosa, which means goddess. All right, now the word madrugada comes from the word madru, which means madre. Madre is Spanish for mother. All right, so because it's your mother, the one that brings you out of the darkness of the rest that you've taken overnight, and she brings you forward towards the light, the same way that during pregnancy a mother births her child and she dar a luz, she gives birth and brings into the light her child. All right, that is the concept of why it's always why the concept though it's always darkest before dawn, because the darkest hour during a pregnancy is birth, is right before you come into the light, right before the child comes into the light. The hardest part when you're talking about a dark time, you're talking about something either painful or something that has a lot of influence in your body in pain. And the act of giving birth, or dar a luz, is the most painful or darkest time during the act of giving birth. All right. Now, if we could go to the next one. Now, the Mayans, they worshipped a deity. It was named Matuta. All right. Matuta was a winged goddess who gave birth to you every morning so that you may rise again in the madrugada, as Brother Calico had mentioned, or dawn, which is the exact translation. Now, Matuta, over the years, she was changed into a Roman perspective where she was not melanated anymore. This Matuta is literally Lucifer's mother under the Lucifer's mother is under the name European name Aurora or goddess of the dawn. So if we could read the top, brother, the top right left hand.
Yeah, we're gonna have to read this, brother, because that's a mouthful that you just said. Who is Lucifer's mother? And this is just a simple wiki article. It's not hard to find. So I'm kind of embarrassed that I never found it prior. Lucifer's mother, Aurora, is cognate to the Vedic goddess Ushas,
yeah.
Lithuanian goddess Asurine, and Greek Eos, all three of whom are also goddesses of the dawn.
Facts. And the bottom as well, we might as well get it out the way.
Mater Matuta. This is just a simple wiki article for anybody who wants the receipt. Mater Matuta was an indigenous Latin goddess whom the Romans eventually made equivalent to the dawn goddess Aurora and the Greek goddess Eos.
So this is deep, brother. Throughout. Go ahead, brother.
It seems like a lot of this religious-ish is simply whitewashed indigenous culture. The Greco-Romans whitewashed indigenous culture and adopted our sacred divinity figures and made them in their own images, if you will. Is that about right?
Is that is about correct, brother? They have a tendency to bastardize things, to change it into their perspective, to whitewash it, and to take the origins of it and just completely, take power. There's an actually usurp. I think the word is the correct word. When you usurp, I can't pronounce it right. Usurp. Okay, when you usurp something, you're imitating it. You trying to become that. It refers mainly to an identity. All right, when you usurp something, you're taking somebody's identity and utilizing it as your own, which is pretty much what happened with Matuta, and like I said, the Mayans worshiped this deity, and she was a melanated person. I need the family to grasp that, because I'm not going to go into the debate of, does everybody come from Africa or not? But from me, listen to me, that comes from a Mayan country. I literally was born 30 minutes away from the Mayan ruins. The pictures that they show us on the TV are not the right pictures. I'm going straight Michael Jackson on this. When the history is a lie. The history books are lying. They are not telling you the truth. These pictures that they show you of these Mayans in the TV, in the shows, and all, these are not the actual Mayans. These Mayans were actually very dark-skinned people. All right, very dark-skinned people, and it could be proven. I've went to the Mayan ruins, and the people in the ruins, brother, they look nothing like me. All right, to be completely honest and about it.
Wow.
So when it comes to whitewashing,
that's powerful.
These people are very good, right? But those
right.
The Mayans were not the only ones. The Mayans were not the only ones who had this exact same deity as Isis in Egypt, or as well as Ishtar in Assyria and Babylon. They possessed the same characteristics and features or animals that represented this Venus or Aurora or Lucifer. Now, these similarities are astonishing and too big to ignore in all of them. Now, from fertility to birth, to able to carry life, to Venus as a planet that represent them, etc., etc. There's just too many to point out. It is as if they were one and the same. All right. Now, if we could read the top in regards about Isis.
Isis was the ancient goddess, was the ancient Egyptian goddess of fertility, and was also known as the goddess of motherhood, magic, death, healing, and rebirth.
Facts. And there we go with the goddess of fertility. Again, you know, fertility is the same as Lucifer, fertility, because she's able to bear life, just like Lucifer means to carry the light, you know. So there we go again with that fur, you know, and the association with Isis, with the other ones. And at the bottom we have Ishtar. All right, you want to go ahead, brother?
Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. Ishtar was the goddess of love and war and sex, some more, as well as protection, fate, childbirth, marriage, and storms. There's some fertility in there, but as Aphrodite, there is also an element of power.
There is some sense of fertility in there, but there's also a sense of power, because these were not just regular deities. They were literally like the most high deity of those times. All right. So go ahead, brother.
Brother, you ever heard the term HNIC?
HNIC. No, I can't say I have.
Okay, before I tell you what that stands for, let me go to the comments. Can somebody type? I'm sorry, I'm just goofy sometimes. Because we're talking about these women and their deities, but they're not just regular deities. In the hood, we would call that an HNIC. Does anybody under the sound of my voice know what an HNIC is? All right, 5 seconds. Do 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 do. Oh, got him. Head Naga in charge. Head Nooka in charge. See, a lot of the people from the hood is in here. We in here, family. We in here. So, just to kind of elaborate on what you were saying, you know, in terms of the deities, these aren't regular deities. These are head honchos, so to speak. Please continue.
Facts. Now, you know, those are not the only ones we could find worldwide. All right. This feminine deity appears to be everywhere we turn, but has been suppressed or demonized. All right. Now, Astarte, Inanna, Aphrodite, they all share all of these same characteristics or symbols. The animals, the planets, you know, the crescent moon. Now we can see a pattern building in which this feminine aspect of our history has been seriously suppressed. Now, as we could see in these pictures, you know, we have the claws, we have the lions, we have the owl, we have the crescent moon, we have the five-pointed star. All right, so those are all characteristics that, you know, that they all share in common. But let's read what they're saying about them, brother.
So the first article is from Britannica.com, short for Encyclopedia Britannica. Astarte was connected with fertility, sexuality, and war. Her symbols were the lion, the horse, the sphinx, the dove, and a star within a circle indicating the planet Venus. She has been known as a deified morning and or evening star.
Facts.
Next one, ancient.eu. That's ancient Europe, if anybody doesn't know what EU stands for. Inanna is the ancient Sumerian goddess of love, sensuality, fertility, procreation, and also war. Again, last one. This is coming from El Centro.
Fertilidad. That's the center of fertility. Sorry, it's a Spanish. It was a Spanish website.
Oh, okay. The Center for. I'm like, damn. I know I can read, but shit. So the last one says, Aphrodite, the goddess Aphrodite, goddess of love and fertility, who was born as a pearl in the shell of an oyster. Wow.
All right. Right. So we have all these women that have all the same characteristics, and they all have this fertility. They're all no. They are obviously they're women. So they are fertile women. They can carry life. But we have the association of Venus, the 5-pointed star. Which is all so. I hate, for a lack of a better word, it's too much of a coincidence for me. All right. So. Right. Now, if we go to the next one, all right. Now, one more, if we can return to Central America again and look deeper into the Mayans, we find Ixchel. All right. Now, Ixchel was the Mayan goddess of the moon and gestation. Gestation is the same word as fertility, just another word for it. They're just not saying fertility. All right. But she was the Mayan goddess of moon and gestation, along with other characteristics. She also represents birth and fertility. A snake on her hair that represents wisdom, and again, like the others, the half crescent moon. We can also assimilate the fact that we can think of snakes on the head of a female. At least for me, it's Medusa. Go ahead, brother.
I want to just break down the word gestation for the listening audience. Gestation is the 9-month period in which you carry a baby. A gestation is the process of being pregnant. Pregnant is just whatever. Gestation is alluding to the 9-month period of pregnancy. She's right in gestation.
Facts. Now, she has a snake on the top of her head, and when we think of women with a snake on top of her head, at least for me, I think of Medusa, who also bears several similarities when you think about it. And again, she was demonized and hidden from history, Go ahead, brother.
I wanted to also share with the family, just in case they did not know, prior to her curse, Medusa wasn't always a bad guy or woman. Prior to her curse, Medusa was the goddess of fertility.
Now that part I didn't know. She was the goddess of fertility. That part I didn't know. I wish I should have looked that one deeper so I could add I would have added a slide. Right. But if we could read just the underline right here, just so the family could get a grasp of my culture. I love to dig into the Mayan perspective, because it presents us a lot of similarities with the Egyptians.
Ixchel, goddess O, is depicted with red body and sometimes with feline aspects such as jaguar claws and fangs. Ixchel was a Maya goddess of the moon, of love, and of gestation.
Right. Now, just to make something very clear, the word Maya, it's a European concept, all right? They have to whitewash everything. The Mayans they do not call themselves the Mayan people, all right? They are not the Mayan people. We call ourselves the Quiche people. We are the people from Quiche. All right. This is that Mayan stuff that comes from Europeans, and they have to give a name to everything. The Aztecs did not call themselves the Aztecs. If you go into Mexico and and talk to these Aztecs and you refer to them as Aztecs, they're not going to be too happy that you're calling. They have gotten used to the term because it's used so much to represent them. But the Mayans are the Quiche people, and they speak Cachiquel from Quiche, all right? Cachiquel, all right? So these people that have took over his story now present us with their story instead of what really originated, all right? So go ahead, brother.
Can I get a damn Gina? Can I get the word Maya is not indigenous to that land. That's a European word. Can I get a damn Gina? Whoa. I'm sorry. I wasn't ready. I'm sorry.
Right. Now, moving on. All right. Now, if we also turn to the Middle East, we also find the same peculiarities and similarities as before. All right. Now this one's gonna go even deeper. All right, because now we're talking about the Middle East. The middle of what? I don't know the middle of what, but we're gonna go with the Middle East because once again, Europeans had to give everything a name. Oh, this is the middle before we get to Asia, so this is the Middle East. Oh, okay, because they were heading east, and that was the middle of the from the Caucasus Mountains to the east. They had to stop in that middle part to rest, and so they could carry on with their journey. But that was the middle of their journey, so they decided to call that place the Middle East. All right.
Hold on. Okay. The reason it's called the Middle East is because when they left Egypt, they went up to the Caucasus Mountains.
Facts.
The middle point between Egypt and the Caucasus Mountains is that area called the Middle East. So technically it is the Middle East. It's just their Middle East. We don't have a Middle East. We don't come from the Caucasus Mountains. We don't do all of that. We don't have a Middle East. It's their Middle East.
Facts.
I'm going to type something in real quick. Just give me a second. Give me one. I'm going to put my caps lock on. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to type, but I'm going to type it out. DAMNGINA exclamation mark 1,000 of them bitches. All right. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
So if we could go deep into this, because this one's going to be good, brother. This slide right here. If we could read right here, brother, in this slide.
Yeah. Wait. Which one? Top right?
Yes. Let's start from the left. No, the top left, and then we move to the right.
Alat. Now this is Alat, also called Aliyat, which means the goddess, just like Allah. Oh wow. Okay. So Allah and Alat are the same thing. Its symbol is the crescent moon. She was worshipped as a sun goddess. The sun in Arabia was called Shamash. Shamash. It was considered feminine.
Facts.
Wow. Islamic nations still use the star and crescent of the goddess in their flags. She would have also been venerated in Carthage under the name Alatu, excuse me. Where am I at? Okay. Alat was represented by a gray cubic stone, parentheses, either a meteorite or a volcanic rock or something like that, around which the sanctuary was built, where the Arabs flocked to carry out worship rites and proprietary sacrifices that ensure the intervention of the goddess to devotees' favor.
Now, before we even go to the next one, brother, right there it states that Allah was represented by a gray cubic stone that was either a meteorite or a volcanic rock. Now, a great cubic stone, when you're talking about a cubic, something cubic, you're talking about a cube. And to this day, today, when you go to Mecca, there's a cube sitting in the middle of it that everybody worships. Everybody worships it, and and they go there to pray to Allah. But little do they know that who they're praying to is to Allah.
Damn.
All right, but let's continue with the right side.
Allah was the divinity of spring and fertility. It was Mother Earth who brings prosperity, goddess of agriculture, like Mediterranean goddess, for example, Demeter. Sometimes Athena is also considered and called the mother of the gods, or the greatest of all.
The greatest of all.
For the Nabateans, I thought that was Nebuchadnezzar. For the Nabateans, for the Nabateans of southern Jordan and Palestine, Allah was considered the goddess of the sun, source of life, and worshipped her as such. Besides the Arabs, other Semitic peoples in Syria and Mesopotamia also knew her. According to the Well Hassan, the Nabateans believe Allah was the mother of Hubal. not Tubal, as the Masons may know, but Hubal, and therefore the mother-in-law of Manat. Not Mayat, but Manat. She was the mother goddess of
Palmyra.
Palmyra, northern Syria. Syria, excuse me, fucking up. Her symbol was the lion. The lion sitting next to her indicates that she was the lady of wild animals. An isolated inscription compares the goddess with Artemis, the protector of wild animals among the Greeks. She is also equated with the Greek Athena and Tyche and the Roman Minerva. She is often called the great goddess in Greek in inscriptions in various languages.
Facts. So again, no matter where we go in the world, we keep finding this deity, this divine feminine that is represented by either a lion, by claws, by a crescent, by moon, by fertility, by the crescent moon, and again, it was given this aspect of masculinity when it had always been femininity. Has days in the Midwest.
Yeah, he was just talking about, because you and Brother D Calico have a long-awaited measure. I'm not sure if it'll ever get done, not sure, but you were connecting Africa to America, and there's a lot of synonymous things that are tied to both. And he just pointed out, just like they have a East over there, we have a Midwest over here, which you are from, brother, and not even just you, but just for all of the family. Shout out to not only Taz, because I know he's in the Shy. Shout out to all of Chicago. We just came from Chicago. Taz showed me a good time. My brother Timbuktu Ashe showed me a good time. My sister in Gary, Indiana, Joy, the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty, was out there as well. So shout out to everybody in the Midwest. Big up to Chicago. Just want to give y'all a big up real quick.
Thank you for that, brother. Now, it's funny what he's saying, because we got to make a presentation about that. And I know I've been slacking on that one, but is to make the reference of America and Africa as being either one and the same, or the history was flipped. All right, because just like you find the Middle East on that side of the world, you find the Midwest here. Just like in Egypt, you find the Nile River that splits all of Egypt, and it puts 30% of the land on the eastern side and 70% of the land on the western side of Egypt. In the same way, here in the United States, the Mississippi River puts 30% of the land on the east side of the United States and 70% of the land on the western side of the Mississippi. All right. So there is too many coincidences. We got pyramids in Illinois. There is an Egypt in the United States. There is too many similarities, but we're going to get into that, and we're going to make that presentation happen. But let us continue. I just wanted to add that, since Brother Calico had enlightened us about the Midwest and the Middle East. All right. Now, continuing. Now, the reason why we're talking about all this feminine aspect, all this this feminine energy that has been suppressed, demonized. Now, the reason why all this feminine energy and deities have been completely wiped from history and our knowledge is because under a patriarchy, women are considered evil, dirty, or cunning, and a danger to the power of European men and their concepts. All right. Now, the vast majority of our current history derives or concentrates on European past events and European wise men, as they like to call them, who we look up to. What we fail to realize is that these men practice and push on the people during what they practiced and preached on the people. Go ahead, brother.
I'm not sure if you were reading or not, but you said that women were cunning.
Right. Fact.
Do you know what the root word of cunning is?
Yes, but go ahead.
The word cunning, because keep in mind we're dealing with Lucifer.
Facts.
The word cunning comes from the word cunt. You say, well, Crumb, that might be a reach. But let me give you another one. when you think of somebody cunning can also be somebody sophisticated. Sophisticated comes from the word Sophia.
Sophia, facts.
So now we have cunning, which is a type of intelligence or a type of thought process. Sophisticated is also mental, and both of them are divine feminine properties. Cunning, cunt. Sophisticated, Sophia. Anyway, I thought it was very interesting because we know that the serpent in the Bible, the serpent, the devil, the serpent in the Bible, do you know God called the serpent cunning?
Cunning, yes.
So,
And nice.
in essence, God called the serpent a cunt.
Yeah.
Okay, but hey, you know what? Let's just keep on. This has nothing to do with Lucifer. I'm joking, family. If you caught that, that was dope.
And you know, and Dick Calico's still going in, you know, he's making some connections, you know, that we have to do a PowerPoint, brother Calico. Let's get together, put this information on paper, and let's present this information on Crumb TV. He just said, wow, look at the wars in the Midwest, which have been going on forever, and look at the Middle East that is also under wars. The Midwest is filled with, if you come to Chicago, the gangs over here are on another level. You know, they're killing people over colors and other stuff. The murder rate is through the roof, everything else. Just as in the Middle East, there is things that are happening, as you know, in the same category, you know, with endless wars. There's always some type of war going on in the Middle East, you know. But thank you for that, brother Calico. Now, if we could go to right here, brother, if we could read just a couple of these things, just to emphasize on the fact that, you know, that this people that we worship today, you know, there's, you know, people like Plato, Socrates, you know, or Einstein, they have some very dark paths that have been omitted so that their teachings are slowly accepted throughout time without question of why go against them, why they go against everything that's natural. All right. Now, homosexuality was being one of them. Now, Charmite, well, I'll let you guys know about Charmites when we get to it. But can we read the underline, brother?
Greek men were all bisexual. Let's just say it one more time. That tastes so good in my mouth. Greek men were all bisexual. You got to say it with bass. It is certainly the norm in ancient Greece for a man to find both sexes attractive. Relationships between men of the same age were not at all common. Rather, the standard same-sex relationship would involve an adolescent boy and an older man. A girl's father traditionally saw it as his duty to find a suitable husband for his daughter.
Facts. And I forgot to finish underlining there, but it's afterward it says, and importantly, would generally have played a role in finding a wife for his son as well. Where is it? Hold on, I didn't write that in there. But anyways, the father, there was also, you know, this aspect of where the father in Greece will find a husband for his daughter, and it would usually be somebody like an uncle or somebody close to them, a family member. All right, so now you got incest going on, you have homosexuality going on, and all these aspects, you know, were brought up to us and given to us, you know. Now, Charmites, which is a time when they practice a lot of all this sexual situations. It's a dialogue by Plato in which Socrates strikes up a conversation with a handsome and popular boy about the meaning of I can't think of the word right now. It was a specific word that he was trying to explain to him, but while he was talking to him, like these pictures, this is what was going on in that event. He came into an event that's called the Charmites, and they were having, they would have intellectual talks, but at the same time they had children. Just like it says, the relationship between men of the same age were not at all common. Rather, the standard of same-sex relationship would involve an adolescent boy and an older man. Now, once you became, and started to have pubic hair, you became somebody completely somebody older, so you were no longer considered pure because you were going into puberty. All right. And that's why they preferred boys. They were untainted yet. All right. And these are some of the aspects of what they have. Now, if we continue, all right, this Greek custom of or way of life are even to this day pushed upon the population in many forms, like actors, movies, entertainers, and some blatant ways where they put truth in plain sight. All right, let's take, for example, the movie 300. Everybody loved the movie 300, don't they? Everybody loved 300, a great movie which represents, to those who aren't aware, masculinity, power, strength, heroism, etc. But we fail to realize the truth is slapping us across the face. These 300 soldiers were actually composed of 150 couples of homosexual lovers. All right. The reason why is because death, when maximized in all aspects, is a force that can create the will to move mountains, rivers, if necessary. Now, what I mean by this is, upon the death of one of these soldiers, the sexual mate who was madly in love with the person dying now will fight with twice the force just to avenge his partner. So they were maximizing the emotions, the love, everything that had to do with emotions that was involved in that homosexual relationship. They were using it to their advantage. Now we are presented with one aspect, but reality is far from what we see. Remember that we gotta remember that believe only half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. All right. Gay magic, yes. Now if we could read this slide real quick, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Where am I at? Hold on. Wait, Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry. Jesus, don't take the wheel. In fact, just a few years before he committed to text, Plato's idea bore fruit in probably many fabulous parties. Around 378 BC, an elite fighting division called the Sacred Band of Thebes was formed as a branch of the Theban army, consisting of 150 pairs of gay lovers, according to historydaily.org.
Right. This is not an emotion.
I'm sorry. Let me keep on reading.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, please. What'd you say?
And you say history daily. Okay. So this is not something that we're making up. This is literally, their history. This is the history of the movie 300, which was 150 pairs of gay lovers. That's what the 300 was really about. Not Sparta. This is Sparta. No, these people were over there, flinging with their stuff and doing all types of weird shit that that we're not accustomed to in our history and in our stories. Not his story, but in our stories. We didn't have nothing to do with homosexuality. Was there homosexuals? I'm pretty sure there was, but it was not prevalent in our countries. All right. In our places, it was not. We were dominated by heterosexuality. And to be completely honest, it was more of multiple wives. All right. So we were more into polygamy than we were into. Go ahead, brother. Brokeback Sparta.
Michael Jones. I'm done. Michael, you ain't right. White Jesus. Oh my God. He said Brokeback Sparta. That's pretty funny. I'm sorry. I just had to acknowledge that. These people in the comments, yo, I'm dying over here. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's get back to it. All right. Should I continue?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right. So top right-hand corner, according to historyanswers.co.uk. Love is sometimes used to refer to anal intercourse, and nowadays even doing it the Greek way still describes anal intercourse. Okay, I never heard that. I've never done it the Greek way, so I guess that's why I'm kind of
oblivious about it.
oblivious. Thank you. All right, last one is a simple wiki article, Ancient Greek Sex Lives. I'm sorry, excuse me, homosexuality in ancient Greece. The most widespread and socially significant form of same-sex sexual relations in ancient Greece was between adult men and pubescent and adolescent boys, known as pederasty.
Pederasty, and that's where we have the pedophilia. Pederasty. Pederasty is the act of actually. That's why they're trying to normalize pedophilia, because pedophilia only defines you having the connection with liking little children, but you haven't acted upon it. That when they normalize pedophilia is because of that concept, because the real concept that we're supposed to be calling these people is pederasters, because they actually are having sexual intercourse. They're having contact with these little boys, but we're calling them pedophiles. And a pedophile is somebody that likes boys but doesn't act on it. All right?
That's right.
So go ahead.
Somebody in the comments asked a really good question. I know the answer, but just so that none of us get shut down, don't answer, because if we type it in, it's going to be considered hate speech. I'm with you. I just want to protect you. I love Indigo RC. He's on point. I get it, but let's be good people, because we know these fact checkers are out here. Hate crime. I told you they're racist over there. Anyway.
Right. So continuing, so what was it that did you read the last one, brother? Yeah, right? Yeah, you read the last one.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so moving on. So so what was it that this Greek men changed that was so drastic regarding Lucifer? We see the pattern with women being oppressed and demonized, but if we dig deeper into these people and the translation that many of their wise men made to very important documents, according to today's storyline everybody follows, we find some very blatant changes that most are oblivious about. Now, let's look into the Septuagint, all right? And I just started doing a lot of research on that over the fact that, where are you at? Right here.
Real quick, while you're looking for that, let me just answer a question. Well, no, never mind. You got it.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, somebody asked about a gay gene. I want to clarify for the family real quick. So here we are. The family says gay gene. The reason there's no need to ask about a gay gene anymore is because that conversation was put to rest in 2001, and I think again in 2015. So what happened? The Human Genome Project. Family, I don't need you to be opinionated. I need you to be informed. The Human Genome Project identified every active gene in the body. And at that particular time, they were looking for the gay gene. They couldn't find the gay gene. So the Human Genome Project got swept under the rug. When I was a kid, I was paying attention. I'm like, I wonder if they're going to find a gay gene. So I was waiting for the results, and it never came out. Then when I went and looked, it came out. They just never said anything about it. So then once technology increased, they went back and redid the Human Genome Project. And when they looked the second time through every active gene in the body, according to your DNA, they couldn't find a gay gene. There is no such thing as being born gay according to science. If you are born gay, fine. Just know there is nothing in the field of science that can confirm that. They've already looked at the gene. So maybe you were born gay and the Jesus gene that has not been identified. Maybe it's the Neanderthal gene that they've yet to find. But according to all the genes, there's no gay gene family. Sorry about that, but let's try again. Be informed, not opinionated. They asked the question. They're not saying that's what it was. I just want to make sure that we don't ask these questions anymore. The born gay thing got shut down in like 2002 or something. It's like, it's old news. So no, there is no gay gene. Scientists have not identified it. And if anybody wants to challenge me, please put that gene inside here, the comment. And let me help you out. I'm going to tell you about a gene, O2A2. This is the only gene you really need to be concerned about. This gene is responsible. Let me just, did I hit it? O2A2 gene. The O2A2 gene is responsible for making your body melanated. If we want to talk about genes, we can talk about genes. I know about a lot of genes. My favorite is the O2A2. Beyond that, there is no gay gene. Sorry.
Right.
Please, brother, continue.
Facts. And just to add some value to what you just said, brother, people might want to look into the scientist, a black scientist to be completely exact, Tyrone Hayes. All right. Now, Tyrone Hayes proved without a shadow of a doubt that in our food there is a chemical. There is a chemical that is that literally it's turning people gay. They tested it. They suppressed this man. They tried, just like everybody else, like Dr. Savy, Dr. Africa, everybody else, where they demonized them. You know, the divine feminine that they gave us. They've demonized these people. But if you look into Tyrone Hayes, he's a scientist. He was on TV and everything. They tried to kill him. They had made attempts on his life because he found out that there is something that they're spraying on the crops that is turning all the animals around these crops gay. And when they were expressing homosexual tendencies, where atrazine, exactly, atrazine, you find it in our food. It's all over our food. And it depending on whether you're a female or a male, it gives you the opposite. It gives you the opposite molecules that are required. What I believe for a man is testosterone, and for a woman is help me out, brother. I'm not too sure with the woman.
Estrogen.
Estrogen. There you go. So so it makes it go up to where if you're a man, you're gonna have more estrogen. If you're a woman, you're gonna have more testosterone. And it's literally making us, especially in the United States. The United States mainly has atrazine everywhere on everything. Damn near everything that we eat it's in it. So this whole gay thing, it's cool and everything. I'm not being disrespectful or anything like that. But if we look deeper into it, there is more. There is information out there that tells us otherwise. All right, just to add value to what you had just said.
And I want to give a big shout out to all the family, no matter what your sexual affiliation may be. Let me just share this with your family. I don't care. I don't want to know what heterosexuals are doing. I don't want to know. So with that said, this is not a shot at anybody for doing anything. Some of you heterosexuals are perverts too. I'm not going to get into any of that. This is just information. Take what you can use. The rest just leave it where it is and go in peace. As always, no disrespect to anybody. Thank you so much for sharing your portion of understanding. Let's move on, brother.
Let's move on. Right now, this wise man.
What were you saying about the Septuagint?
Right, this wise man. I've been trying to study the Septuagint for a while, and the differences between the Bible that we have today and what is written right here. I'm not a religious person,
I'm sorry. Let me see that. Now that's the Spanish version.
It has both. It has Spanish, English, and German. All right, and Hebrew in here as well. So it has all of the aspects of the major languages that were used back in that time, and it gives you the translations that were utilized in different countries. All right, and it gives you the translations in all of them, and it helps out a lot to be able to see what the translations were for different Bibles and what words they were like. Oh wow, why would they use that word for this? Like we're about to experience right now, because what was it that this wise men changed? And when we look at the Septuagint, the Hebrews of that time, they couldn't read Hebrew. All right, because not everybody was allowed to read or write during those times. So the Hebrews at that time could not read Hebrew, so it was translated into Greek, but the original text was written in Aramaic. All right, which is pretty much a lost language. I'm not too sure if there is any people that actually speak Aramaic. you know, or can read it or translate or anything like that. But only very few understood the language. And it was, some people say it was 70, some other people say it was 72 wise men that were the best of them that did the translation. Now, it was rare to be able to read or write in those times, because only the rich had those privileges of having a teacher to be able to show them how to read and write. Go ahead, brother.
You know, I don't want to take shots any more than I usually do, but hold up. Excuse me. I don't want to take shots no more than I usually do, but I want to, you know, talk some crap about these Hebrews. How the hell are you a Hebrew and you don't speak Hebrew? Y'all not Hebrews. I mean, I know you are, but I mean, damn. You know, I would think it would be a standard, and it makes sense for someone like Taz to bring the Spanish version. But if you had me saying, hey, Taz, let me teach you Spanish, that would be a little bit insulting to a small degree, that somebody outside your culture had to teach you your culture. And for me, as a melanated person, I take offense to that, because the beast does it all the time in these public schools. That's why I hate them. You cannot teach me about my history. That whole Black History Month shit, fuck that. You know, no disrespect to Carter G. Woodson, but no, the European cannot teach my shop. Go to these colleges, you know what? You know why I don't like HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities? Because if you go inside these HBCUs, more often than not, guess who's teaching African history?
White people.
How the fudge do you go to an HBCU just to meet a white man who gonna teach you how to be Black? Ain't that some shit, people? So now you got to get a Greek man to teach a Hebrew man how to speak and read Hebrew? Damn, Gina, that's why I can't fuck with the Hebrews, because they won't tell you that part. You're gonna have to come to Crumb TV to get that.
Facts. So moving on. All right. So to read this was just an explanation on this slide. It pretty much says, it says the Greek version of the Old Testament in 60s, 30s, earlier as the word translator collectively from late Latin Septuaginta, which is what it actually says right here, Septuaginta. All right. Which means 70, from septum, which means 7, Hinta, which means 10 times 10. So you multiply the 10 times, that's how you get the 70. All right. Now, some people do say that is 72, you know, who knows how many it was or whatever. But that's, you know, history is all, it's all discombobulated. So it says, so name in reference to the incorrect tradition to be translated was done in 3C AEC by 70 or 72 Jewish scholars, or Middle English 70 Turnerists from Palestine, and completed in 70 to 72 days. All right. And it gives you a pretty good concept of the Septuagint, of when it was created, this slide anyways. But if we continue, we're going to slide, this is slide 30. Now with the Septuagint, we did not find the word Lucifer. I looked, family. There is no Lucifer in the Septuagint. It's not in here. But you find the word phosphorus. There is no Lucifer in the Septuagint. But you find the word phosphorus. All right? All right. So now, instead like I said, instead we find the word phosphorus, but we are speaking of elements of the body. This isn't regular science. This is esoteric science, which studies the unknown and ununderstood. Now, this phosphorus oxidizes when it comes in contact with oxygen, causing it to emit light, just like Lucifer brings you the light. Now, I've said this before, a match in Spanish is fósforo. You know, that's why, you know, it's the spark of light turns the fire on. You know. So if we look at this, can we read the etymology of phosphorus, brother?
We sure can. I got a little battery notification. Let me just hit this little plug.
No problem.
Is my computer happy now? Okay, my computer's happy now. All right, so which part did you want me to read? I'm sorry.
The etymology on the left-hand side?
Yes. Online etymology dictionary says the etymon of phosphorus, according to the 1640s, substance or organism that shines of itself. From Latin, phosphorus, light bringing. Also, the morning star. Parentheses, a sense attested in English from 1620. Next, I'm moving on. From Greek, phosphorus, meaning morning star, literally torch bearer. From phos, meaning light. Contraction of phos, light, daylight, related to phanium, to show, to bring to light, to bear children.
To bear children. And if we pay attention, this is phosphorus, all right? And if we go back to slide 14, we see that Lucifer, it also means to carry, to bear children, all right? The same concept, all right? Is the exact same thing, to bear children, all right? So it's telling us that phosphorus is the same as Lucifer, which is light bringing. Also, the morning star is speaking about Venus. The morning star is Venus, and it's also telling us that is to bear children. Now, I made the mention, you know, that this is esoteric science. In the right-hand side, it says, what is esoteric science? Esoteric science can be precisely defined as the scientific study of the ununderstood and unrevealed phenomena, esoteric phenomena of the universe, by making use of human beings' deep insight as the scientific instrument of investigation. All right. So you use your senses, you use your knowledge, what you know, not what you believe. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So esoteric science, it says, is the science of did it say the unseen? Is that what you said?
Of the ununderstood and unrevealed.
Unrevealed. All right. So I want to help the family understand when we talk about esoteric science as unrevealed science. Esoteric science and unrevealed science is most synonymous with metaphysics. When you're dealing with the word meta, where's my phone at? Right here. Almost ready. Let me just ask this stinking phone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Google. I'm thinking. What does meta mean?
Here's the definition of meta. Short for meta key.
Meta key, referring to itself or the conventions of a genre. That's not what I want, you racist. Meta means unseen.
Unseen, correct.
Anyway, when you're dealing with metaphysics, because that's why I like to do my research prior to getting on live, so I can be a little more quick with it. But anyway, yeah, some of the family is in here adding value. Where'd it go? Okay, meta means beyond. You know, not. I'm sorry. When I used to watch the Thundercats, and Lion-O put that sword to his face, he said, hold on, I gotta get in your face. He said, give me sight beyond sight.
Right.
That's meta sight. That's metaphysical. So you got the physical in which you can see and the metaphysical which you can't see. Let me give you one more receipt and then I'm gonna pass the mic. So now, we are made of atoms. Check.
Facts.
An atom is 90% empty space. Check.
Facts.
So if an atom is 90% empty space and we are made of atoms, is it safe to say that we are 90% empty space?
Yeah.
That empty space that you cannot see, the 10% that you can see, That's your physical. The 90% that you cannot see, that's your metaphysical. You know, somebody said metamorphosis, a morphing beyond, you know, wherever you were at
Previous.
before. So anyway, with that said, when the brother talks about esoteric science, he's right and exact. I want you to understand esoteric science and metaphysics is synonymous. Please continue. I'm sorry.
Facts. Now, this light, brother, that go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry. It's not empty space. It's dark matter. Thank you, Indigo RC, for keeping me honest. Thank you.
Facts. Now, we see here that it's talking about phosphorus being light, all right, or the light bringer to bear children, just like Lucifer. Now, this light that the body emits is spoken in many places, all right. But let's talk about, you know, what it is exactly. What light is this? This is 32. Yeah, 32. 31. Sorry.
31. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Now, the this light that they're speaking about, it's in our bones, all right? Our bones emit light. It's called phosphorescence. Am I saying that correctly? Excuse my English. Spanish is my first language, so you know. Am I saying that correctly? Or is phosphorescence or is phosphorescent?
Yeah.
Phosphorescent. Or all right.
I would say phosphorescence.
Phosphorescence. All right. So this light, this glow is called phosphorescence, the term that also comes from phosphorus. So it means light or to bear light as well. Not only that, but the element is essential and required by every cell in our body to be able to function correctly. Now, about 85% of the body is phosphorus, and it's found in large amounts in our teeth and bones. But that isn't the only place it's found. We found it in our DNA and our RNA. Which are also deposits for this phosphorus. All right. If we could read the slides right here, brother.
Bones. Now, this is according to topper.com. Bones are made of calcium and phosphorus. White phosphorus is an element which reacts with atmospheric oxygen and forms fumes like substance and glows in dark. This phenomena is called phosphorescence. Next one is link.springer.com. The term phosphorescence comes from the Greek light, and therefore phosphorus means which bears light. The term phosphoror has indeed been assigned since the Middle Ages to materials that glow in the dark after exposure to light.
Facts.
Last one on the left side comes from IP or LPI.OregonState.education. Summary: phosphorus is an essential mineral that is required by every cell in the human body for normal function. Bound to oxygen in all biological systems, phosphorus is found as phosphate in the body. Approximately 85% of the body's phosphorus is found in the bones and teeth. Last one. Can I read this one too?
Yes, please do.
All right, so last one is from the right-hand side. This comes from ods.od.national National Institution of Health.gov. Phosphorus. Introduction. Phosphorus, an essential mineral, is naturally present in many foods and available as a dietary supplement. I didn't know that part. Phosphorus is a component of bones, teeth, DNA, and RNA in the form of phospholipids. Phosphorus is also a component of cell membrane structure and the body's key energy source, ATP.
Key, the body's key source of energy. All right. So we are light beings. We are beings of light. We are phosphorus. A lot of people say, you know, they go to church like, oh, I got Jesus in me. No, you don't. You have phosphorus. You're full of phosphorus. Everywhere you look within your body, it's a requirement. It's an essential mineral that is required. Is the body's key energy. We are considered light, aka phosphorus. Yes, correct, exactly. So you know that goes to show us that our body is able to glow. That's where the aura comes. You know, where so many of these beings. Go ahead, brother.
Isn't that something you were saying that women experience when they're because keep in mind, when a woman has a baby, you say that she's bringing the baby to the light.
Facts.
So now, when a woman when a woman is pregnant, you can see her light shine.
Facts. The reason why
And
she's creating more phosphorus. Now she's creating phosphorus for two beings. So she's glowing even more.
that's the science. So when a woman glows, we're not talking about being funny and saying, "Oh, you just look cute," to stroke her ego. We're saying that her body's producing more phosphorus than the human eye is used to, and thusly giving the appearance of glowing.
Facts, facts.
Well, there you have
Now, moving forward. Now, this light, brother, that the body emits is spoken of many places within this book we now call the Bible that demonizes Lucifer. Now, many verses make reference to this light that the body gives out, but this light is not referred to as evil or demonic when it is being used. So it is quite contradictory in nature to make two references to the same thing. All right. So let's look at some of them right here. In Psalms 97:11, we find light is sown from the righteous and gladness for the upright in the heart. All right. So sown means that it is literally sown into you. The light is sown into the righteous. If you have a righteous heart, you will emit this light. All right. But for the and also for the upright in heart. That's in Psalms 97:11. Matthew 6:22 talks about the light of the body is the eye, not the eyes, not the eyes, the eye. The eye, all right? The light of the body is their eye. Therefore, if their eye be single, the single eye, because we're going to get into that, but we're talking about your third eye, your pineal gland, thy whole body should be full of light. The lamp of the body is the eye. It's not talking about the eyes, the carnal eyes. It's talking about the metaphysical. It's talking about beyond what the eyes could see in this realm that everything is materialistic. All right. Go ahead, brother.
I wanted to shout out Patty Mayo. I'm not sure if she ever seen the cartoon Doug, but I think she's she's been speaking Spanish in the comments. You asked the question, she replied C. I don't know if she is melanated or to what degree, but she said it's not the third eye, brother. It's not the third eye.
It's the first.
It's the first eye.
Fact.
This is the second and the third. This is the first eye. This is the first one. Shout out to Penny Mayonnaise. I see you, babe. All right.
So we have other ones, like in Matthew 5:14, it says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid." All right. A city, all right, because this is your temple. This is where we reside. This is just a vessel. So the city, when it's placed on a hill at the very top, it cannot be hidden because it's going to illuminate. It's going to light up everything. Once your first eye lights up and it's full of light, your body is going to, there is going to be no, "Oh, I don't see you." No, you're going to see the light that is being shone upon. Now in Luke 11:34-36, it says, "The light of the body is their eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body is full of light. But when thine eye is evil, thy body is also full of darkness. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in thee be not darkness. If thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light, as when bright shining of a candle don't give the light." All right. So Luke is telling you, that we are the light. We're the sons. We're the Lucifers. All right. We are the phosphorus that they're talking about. And in Genesis 1:3, because we got to remember, all right, Lucifer was the third thing that was created. All right, because there was things, in the Bible, when we look at Genesis, first of all, there was two things that were already there. All right, because in the first chapter of Genesis, they never speak about creating the water, and they never speak about creating the darkness. All right, it just says, "And God hovered over the waters." you know, and the world was void and without form. It was full of darkness. And the third thing was, and God said, right here in Genesis 1:3, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. The third thing created in the creation story of Jesus was Lucifer, was the light. All right, in Genesis 1:3. All right, so this light is being
catch that.
Right, you know, so this light is being presented to us in different aspects, or in different books within the Bible. All right, so but moving on now, this is slide 33, right? Now, within the same book, we find yet another set of scriptures that are contradicting to the narrative we were told to follow. The light, or Lucifer, or morning star, is referenced by Jesus in Revelations or Apocalypse, which is Latin that comes from the Greek apocalypsis, meaning uncover or to reveal. All right, apocalypse means to reveal, as well as in the Gospel of John. In both instances, Jesus refers to himself as the light or the morning star. The reason why one steps out of the darkness into the light of knowledge. But didn't they tell us that Lucifer and the morning star was evil? So why is Jesus referring to himself? But can we read these two scriptures, brother, from Apocalypse or Apocalypse, or
Apocalypse chapter 20?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because we know the word apocalypse means to reveal. The great revealing, the great revelation, 22:16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offering of David, and the bright and morning star. John chapter 8, verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Facts. So now Jesus is is comparing himself to this. It's either comparing himself, or it's two wings to the same bird. All right, two wings to the same bird, which pretty much is telling us, that Jesus and Lucifer are, two faces to the same coin. All right, it is the same being. But
wow, what a synopsis.
So moving on. This is to be kept in the dark. All right. Now, when we're making reference to, right here where he's saying, you will never be in the dark. You will always be that he's the light. You will never walk in the dark. When you talk about keeping someone in the dark, is to keep someone uninformed about something, or to exclude someone from full knowledge or disclosure of something. Keeping taxpayers in the dark about how their money is being spent is not how the government should operate. Now, why does it say that? Because the acronym KITD, which is keep in the dark, it's a government acronym. All right, it's something that they use. It's something that they literally utilize. My apologies. All right, so it's very for a lack of word again, it's very coincidental that KITD, this acronym or slang, usually belongs to the government and military as a category in which they keep the public in a need to know basis. And we don't need to know, that's just the fact of what they tell them. The fact is that Jesus and Lucifer are one and the same, all right? At the same light. To bring something to light, it means to reveal. Just like apocalypse is the great reveal or disclosure something previously hidden or secret, as in after carefully investigating all the facts of the case were brought to light. All right, so those are the differences between being kept in the dark and being brought into the light. All right,
brother,
go ahead.
We're rounding on about a half an hour. I was going to ask, is this an okay spot to stop at for now?
It is. It is. There is. I'm not sure how many slides are left right here.
About 10 more.
About 10 more. Yeah.
Now, I wanted to say this to not only you, but just address the family. As you can see, family, we don't watch sports. We don't, buy Jordans. This is what we do for fun. I know I'm a nerd and there's not many like me and Taz, but if you are like me and Taz and you want to assist and work with us, all you got to do is reach out, let us know, hey, Crumb, hey, Taz, I got a PowerPoint. I want to share, let's build. You don't even have to have a computer. You can just get on the phone with us. We'll do work and you can just share the information. So if anybody wants to work with us on this PowerPoint or any others, simply email me at crumbtvads@gmail.com. On this platform, you will see more PowerPoints than any other platform on the internet. That is my goal. We are all about receipts, and we do not share our opinions before we put the information that we use to derive our inference from. So with that said, if anybody wants to work with me, if you want to work with Taz, if you want to work with us, please, please, please let us know. I know some of y'all went to college and that teacher gave you a PowerPoint. Let's make Scholastic cool again. Let's be a scholarly cool again. Let's make opinions dumb again. Let's make half-assed assumptions dumb again. Let's say to the people, show me the facts. No printer. I'm just joking. Patty Mayo has said that. I thought that was pretty cute. So before I end this out officially, brother, I wanted to ask if you could please tell the people who you are and where they can find you at.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us one more time. I'm your humble brother, Taz Maniac Wolf. That's how you can find me on Facebook. You could also find me on YouTube, on Instagram, and all the other platforms that they have out there under the Taz Show. I also have a business page on Facebook under the Taz Show. You can find me there as well. But as I've said earlier, you will always find me on Crumb TV.
Brother, I want to thank you again for taking the time out of your life to just be a master's student and put a plethora of information together. Not only does it mean a lot to me, it means a lot to the family. So I want to thank you one more time for everybody. Just stay on the line while I end this and we'll talk afterwards if that's okay. So with that said, family, this is another installation of Crumb TV. I really hope you enjoyed yourself. This is my last one for today, I promise. No more. So with that said, I want to just end this how I love to end things. I'm on YouTube, family. If you are on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, Crumb TV, and also ring that little bell. I don't know if it makes that sound, but that's more like a phone. But anyway, I'm also on Instagram, family. If you are on Instagram, give me a Grammy. Hit that follow button, Crumb TV _. Last but not least, I'm on Racebook. What better place for your favorite races? I didn't really get to share any of that today, but I usually keep the race thing on the forefront. So we'll get into that shortly, maybe next video, who knows? So with that said, family, hit that follow button, Crumb TV. This has been another installation of Crumb TV. It is called Lucifer Decoded Part 2. Go check Part 1. Taz did his thing up there too. I think we're about an hour and a half up there as well. So with that said, family, I want to leave you. If you could join me, brother, the exact same way I came to you. In peace.
This is the real Remy Red, and I support Crumb TV.
This IG No Play Zone. You are now watching Crumb TV.
Hey, this is Reggae Boy, and I'm watching Crumb TV.
And you're now watching Crumb TV.
What's up? This is your brother Walsh Red, and you're now watching Crumb TV.